नमस्कार, गुड इवनिंग इंडिया। भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था और मजबूत हो, इसके लिए बहुत जरूरी है कि आज का युवा उद्यमिता के साथ जुड़े। उद्यमिता यानी एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप। क्या आप एक जॉब क्रिएटर बनना चाहते हैं? यदि हाँ, तो आज का अंक जरूर देखें, क्योंकि आज हम पूरे एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इकोसिस्टम पर फोकस करेंगे। सरकार ने भी 2016 में नेशनल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप अवार्ड स्कीम का गठन किया और अब सबको इंतजार है नेशनल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप अवार्ड्स 2017 का।
अवार्ड्स को दो ग्रुप्स में बांटा गया है, अवार्ड ट्रैक, रिकॉग्निशन ट्रैक। पहला ग्रुप अवार्ड ट्रैक के नाम से जाना जाता है, जो कि 30 साल से कम युवा एंटरप्रेन्योर्स या उद्यमियों को उनके प्रयासों के लिए पहचान और पुरस्कार देता है। इस अवार्ड ट्रैक के तहत अवार्ड इन एप्लीकेंट कैटेगरीज में दिया जाएगा। अवार्ड ट्रैक को गुड्स, सर्विसेज, सामाजिक एंटरप्राइज और बेयरफुट एंटरप्राइज की श्रेणी में बांटा गया है। दूसरे ग्रुप को रिकॉग्निशन ट्रैक कहा जाता है, जो इकोसिस्टम बनाने वालों के प्रयासों को पुरस्कृत करता है। चयन प्रक्रिया को निष्पक्ष और विस्तृत बनाने के लिए NEA ने भारत के कई बेहतरीन एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशन से करार किया है, जिससे ये देश के सबसे प्रतिष्ठित उद्यमी अवार्ड्स में से एक बन गए हैं। लॉग ऑन कीजिए www.neas.gov.in पर। आपके उपक्रम को दुनिया को दिखाने का ये सुनहरा मौका है।
एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पर चर्चा करने के लिए मेरे साथ स्टूडियोज में एक विशिष्ट पैनल और ऑडियंस मौजूद है। आप सभी का स्वागत है। आइए उनसे परिचय कराता हूं। आपका स्वागत करना चाहेंगे ज्योत्सना सिटलिंग जी का। आप जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी हैं मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ स्किल डेवलपमेंट एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में। स्वागत है आपका। प्रोफेसर सत्यजीत मजूमदार हमारे साथ हैं टाटा इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ सोशल साइंसेज से। वेलकम प्रोफेसर। डॉक्टर हरकेश कुमार मित्तल हमारे साथ हैं और पिछले साल जो अवार्ड्स हुए नेशनल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप अवार्ड्स, उसमें आपको मेंटोर गवर्नमेंट के पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया गया। यू आर द हेड ऑफ नेशनल साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी इंजीनियरिंग डेवलपमेंट बोर्ड, Department of Science and Technology. We have with us Mr. Pradeep Gupta, who got the award of Mentor Individual. You are the chairman with Cyber Media Group. Thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Jawahar हमारे साथ हैं। आप हमें बताएंगे incubation process के बारे में। You are the executive director with TREC STEP, and this organization is into 31st year of its existence. And then of course 3 young entrepreneurs are with us. Saket मोदी हमारे साथ हैं। आप लुसिडियस टेक से हैं। इनको भूल कर भी आप अपना मोबाइल मत दीजिएगा 20 सेकंड के लिए, ये हैक कर लेंगे। और पूरे देश के थाली में एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत व्यंजन मोमोज परोसने का काम शाह, मिफ्त और रहमान कर रहे हैं। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका। और साथ ही कनिका टेकरीवाल हमारे साथ है जेट सेट गो एविएशन सर्विसेज से। आप सभी का स्वागत है। कनिका, आपसे शुरू करेंगे। क्या ये सच है जब कनिका 4 साल की थी और एक हेलीकॉप्टर उतरा, उसे लगा ये एक बहुत बड़ा कॉकरोच उतर गया है?
जी एकदम सही है।
फिर वहां से कहानी आगे क्या बढ़ी?
तो मेरे को लगा था ये एक फ्लाइंग कॉकरोच है जो हम बच्चों को खाने आया है क्योंकि हम शैतान हैं या ऐसे कुछ। फिर उस हेलीकॉप्टर के जो पायलट्स थे उनने हमें हेलीकॉप्टर दिखाया और समझाया कि ये कैसे उड़ता है, क्या मशीन है। और तब से मेरे को हर उड़न खटोले से बहुत जुड़ाव होने लगा और मैंने सब किताबों में पढ़ा। उस टाइम हमारे पास इंटरनेट नहीं होता था, तो मैंने किताबें देख देख के सब सीखा प्लेन्स के बारे में।
So what's your innovation model? We all have seen the Uber and the Ola if we want to book a taxi. This is like booking the private jet?
Absolutely. So what we've done is India has about 300 airports. Only 80 are connected by commercial airlines. तो अगर किसी को दिल्ली से कानपुर, झरसुगुड़ा, अंगुल, कडप्पा ऐसी जगह जाना हो तो उनके पास कोई उपाय नहीं है रोड या रेल छोड़ के। तो हमने उनको प्राइवेट जेट बुक करने का एक बहुत ही आसान और सेफ तरीका दिया है। वो हमारी वेबसाइट पे जाके 3 क्लिक में बुक कर सकते हैं।
Absolutely, just 3 clicks and you can book a private aircraft. I'm sure a lot of people would be saying this is pretty an expensive and capital intensive pursuit. We'll ask that as well to Kanika, but I think an easier option is to order a Momo. Now, do you think, therefore, was it an easy startup venture?
So, Momos exactly was not an easy startup venture. The biggest, so the company was started by 2 of my college friends, Sagar and Vinod. And of course I joined in later. So initially क्या था कि Momo was was a food item which was sold at the roadside.
Yes.
Right? It was absolutely, if you do a flashback 10 years back, and if you think of momos, you could only visualize momos being sold at a street side,
yes,
in those steamers, in those thelas. What we came in and what we did was we made this into a category. Category मतलब उस मोमो स्ट्रीट साइड को हमने एक ब्रांड बना दिया. तो 10 साल पहले पिज़्ज़ा वॉज अ कैटेगरी, बर्गर वॉज अ कैटेगरी, बट मोमोज वॉज नॉट अ कैटेगरी. हमने सोचा कि ये एक बहुत अच्छा प्रोडक्ट है, बहुत हिट प्रोडक्ट है, बहुत लोग खाते हैं, इसको हम ब्रांड कैसे बना सकते हैं. तो हमने स्टीम से उसको फ्राई किया, फ्राई से पैन फ्राई किया, बर्गर बनाया, ऑग्रेटन बनाया, सिजलर बनाया और उसको पूरा मील बना दिया. सो दैट इज समथिंग दैट वी ट्राइड टू डू. जो मोमो एक रोड साइड प्रोडक्ट था, उसको हम लोग एक ब्रांड में लेके आए एंड हम लोग उसको बेस्ट इन क्लास malls and best in class places पे इसको दे रहा है.
So Saket, as somebody who's a young successful entrepreneur, recipient of the National Entrepreneurship Award 2016, the idea could be anything. It could be a momo, it could be a private jet. How does one start the journey, and what has the journey been like as the CEO of Lucidius Tech?
आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा. जिस तरीके से आइडिया कुछ भी हो, उसके पीछे विश्वास आपका खुद का होना चाहिए, चाहे वो मोमो हो, प्राइवेट जेट हो, या इनको बनाने वाली टेक्नोलॉजी को हैक करने वाली बातें हो. सो एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आई थिंक ये एक बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी की बात है कि हम ऐसे देश में रहते हैं जहाँ पे 130 करोड़ लोगों की आबादी है. क्योंकि आप अगर देखो ज़्यादातर देशों में शायद दिल्ली या बॉम्बे से कम लोगों के पॉपुलेशन है. सो जब आप हमारी डाइवर्सिटी देखते हो, हमारे लैंड को देखते हो कि कितनी बड़ी पॉपुलेशन इतने बड़े लैंड पे रह रही है, यहाँ पे जो अपॉर्चुनिटी है किसी भी सेक्टर में मेरे हिसाब से वो बहुत बड़ी है. और आज मुझे लगता है फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम वी आर नाउ बीइंग enabled using technology, where education, which was such a huge problem, today now thanks to 300 million people who are using the mobile phone, which means 1 out of every 4 Indians today uses a smartphone, which means 1 out of every 4 Indians today has now an access to the MITs and the Stanfords and the IITs के courses को free of cost. And this has just happened in the last 12 to 18 months. मुझे लगता है this is going to be transformational, where any person who's very passionate about anything, उसके बारे में depth में जाने की opportunity for the first time is what is presented today, thanks to the Digital India and the government and its schemes which are there. So I would say it's a massive opportunity we are sitting on, and as the youngest nation in the world, with the average age as the youngest one, as a large nation, I think it's very exciting times for all of us.
I think this is really nice. So we've had 3 young entrepreneurs, and as Saket said, 1 in every 4 Indian now has access to a smartphone, and the power of smartphone is something that we can't even imagine. So more smartphone users in India than compared to US, and then add to schemes like Aadhaar, eKYC, and all this public infrastructure now in place. Do you think it makes a job of an incubator like TREC Step very easy, because you'll have a lot of people coming as incubatee? Mr. Jawahar, is it the right time for startup and entrepreneurship then?
In a way, yes, and in a way, no. Yes, in the sense that the access to entrepreneurship, the access to knowledge, the access to reach out to talent is much easier now. But in terms of the spread of technologies, in terms of the challenges of globalization, today is a very tough day for entrepreneurship and innovation in a way. But let me tell you, when we talk about entrepreneurship, when we talk about incubators, we talk about primarily about job creation. It is not about one single person making profit for himself. It is about that person sacrificing his career for creating jobs. In the process, he also pays tax revenues to the government. That tax revenue goes to development processes, and then he innovates a society. He brings in new products and processes which transforms a society. And finally, I think he also brings in investment so that the industry can sustainably grow. So when we talk about incubators, I think we are talking about institutions which create all this. When we talk about medical college, when we talk about law school, when we talk about many other schools, we talk about professionals. But incubators are the first institutional mechanism for creating entrepreneurs and a new world order.
As you say that, someone is smiling because Saket firmly believes on the contrary. And he always says, look at Microsoft, look at Apple, and the list is endless, that have gone on to become successful without any incubation, right?
Absolutely.
So yes or no to the incubator then?
No, I think incubation is like being the son of Amitabh Bachchan. You can get the first few breaks, but then you have to sustain as an actor
Right.
to really stay there. Otherwise, it doesn't
The
work.
debate has just begun because Mr. Jawahar wants to put a point. I'll come to you. That is where, when we have confusions like these, if I'm the budding entrepreneur and we have got a lot of them among the audience, we need a mentor. Pradeep ji, as somebody who was a recipient of the award of mentor last year, guide us. What's the way forward?
So, you know, biggest change that has happened is that the mindset has changed in these last 3 decades. So I remember when I was becoming an entrepreneur, at that time there were no mentors available, there were no policies available, there was no support system, there were no VCs, no angels, nothing was available. And in fact the government's policies at that time were actually against entrepreneurship. The middle class mindset also was become a doctor, become an engineer,
Yes.
not become an entrepreneur.
Yes.
But times have changed dramatically, and I think mentorship has played a very, very important role. So somewhere towards the late 90s, you know, successful entrepreneurs who had been there, done that, they started saying, can we guide other youngsters to come up? And you know, organizations like TIE started, early angel funds started, and so on. And because of all those things, today you have a class of people who are available who
Yes.
can nurture startups, who can guide them in the right direction.
Yes, so it's a demand and supply thing. And since Pradeep ji has said, let me ask the first poll question to the audience. Raise your hand how many of you want to become an entrepreneur? You would like to consider?
Oh,
Yeah, that's really nice. And one
Very
person
true.
who's not raising hand is Harkesh Mittal. He always wanted to become an entrepreneur. Yes or no?
Yes, I did.
What's the story, sir? What's the story?
That's a touching story.
Okay. Since you have asked it, Amit, let me tell you that I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. With a surname like Mittal, what else I would have done? So I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I was studying at IIM Ahmedabad, and my business plan was ready. I was even, my loan was sanctioned. I was even allocated an industrial shed. And one of my Professor Gupta, he said that since you are going to be an entrepreneur, there is an event happening, how to start your own business. Why don't you go and attend that? And as a very obedient student, I went there, attended that event, and I was very impressed with one of the speakers there, one Dr. Rawal. He seemed to know everything about small scale industry. I thought I will work with Professor Rawal for a couple of years, then nobody will be able to beat me. Well, that was the end of my entrepreneurship. And what happened was that I went and joined that institute. I today have all the knowledge about small scale industry,
yes.
but I did not act. If there is one message which I can deliver today, that is knowledge is important, but action is more important.
I think that's really very nice point. Very good point. You know, very big learning, and once again recapping it for the benefit of viewers, knowledge is very essential, but make sure you act. That is the message of Mr. Mittal. But even as you hear different stakeholders, startup entrepreneurs, the wannabe startup entrepreneurs, the mentors and the incubators, Jyotsna ji, you certainly have a smile because you've got all the stakeholders together.
Yeah.
And what was the objective of the National Entrepreneurship Award 2016 when you instituted this scheme?
Yeah, basically the objective of National Entrepreneurship Award, I must say, is to catalyze a cultural shift in youth entrepreneurship. So it's very important to create models of excellence for others to emulate, and especially this entrepreneurship award focuses on young achievers and the ecosystem builders. That's how our country is creating the ecosystem that would really usher the youth to move towards entrepreneurship.
So this time you would like to tell the viewers that the application process is on. Who all can apply?
See, the young entrepreneurs below the age of 30, they can apply. So there are a number of fields, as you must have already seen in the presentation that had been given. And at the same time, there's a great space for the mentors, the incubators, the educationists, and the handholders who could create that, you know, environment for the entrepreneurs to progress.
Absolutely. And right now on screen, we like to flash these important dates. Kindly note, if you wish to nominate yourself for the National Entrepreneurship Awards 2017, and these are the key dates. Ma'am, the people can apply till 15th of September?
Yes, 15th of September.
And then the award ceremony will happen following that.
Yes.
But as a lead partner of the National Entrepreneurship Awards, TIS, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, what's the level of preparedness for the second edition of awards?
Okay, we are quite prepared. I would say we are prepared, fully prepared. We have already started the award application process, and this time award application will be invited through web portal, which is already on. You have seen the
Yes.
the web portal. Award applications are open till 15th of September. Then we have 3 levels of evaluation, independent evaluation. The first level at the regional partner level, you have seen the names of the partner. Then the second level at our level, and the third level at the ministry level. So there are 3 levels of independent evaluation, very objective. So even the guidelines are already there in the website. And the entire ecosystem is ready, including the machinery with ministry and all the partner institutes. The evaluators, the partners doing road shows. This time we are reaching out across the country. The core focus of this time is to reach out to across the country. All of us are already reaching out. We have done 20 road shows. We will be doing more than 100, maybe 115 during the year. So this is the time when we are reaching out to the people across the country.
Excellent. And this program is reaching out not only across the country but across many nations. We've got friends from Asia, Africa, from different countries, and I would like to say heartfelt thanks to everyone for your participation today on the National Public Broadcaster of India, Doordarshan. Let's get some questions. Charles, what's your thoughts on entrepreneurship?
Yes, I want to take this opportunity to thank the Ministry of External Affairs for giving us the opportunity to come to India to learn from Nesbet. It's a very useful opportunity for some of us. Many of us, especially the 2 of us from Ghana, really want to go into entrepreneurship. I want to find out what advice will you give us?
What's the first step?
What's the first step?
Okay. Jyotsna ji, he is already studying in NISBET, and for benefit of our viewers, NISBET is National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, that comes under the aegis of your ministry. Yes.
Yeah. The first step would be, to have a zeal to overcome any of the difficulties that would come in the way of becoming an entrepreneur. So that, to the heart of heart, you have to have that guts to move on. So the policy framework conditions of your country and the ecosystem of your country could be a little different from India. So I cannot tell precisely on those points, but I think the matter counts a lot as far as becoming entrepreneur is concerned.
Right. Let's ask very nice. Let's ask the entrepreneurs. Kanika, what is that first thing that really transforms you from a job seeker to job creator?
I think, like ma'am rightly pointed out, it takes a lot of courage and zeal to actually step out there and take that first plunge. And I would sum it up into perseverance. You're going to hear 1,000 no's. No, don't do it. No, this will happen. No, how will you pay your rent? No, how will you do this? You've got to turn a deaf ear to all the no's and turn every no into a yes.
What did family say or friends say that Kanika didn't like, but that only helped you to continue focus on the goal?
Also, lots of things. I remember someone telling me that you're going to come back home in 2 months' time. Why are you even giving this a shot? Someone said, oh, you're making a mobile game. Right? When I was trying to create this app, not many people knew about what mobile applications were. Startups were like unheard of. Flipkart had just come out. So a lot of people said, oh, you're making a game on a cell phone. Isn't that what boys do? You're wasting your time. So someone said, why don't you bake cookies? Someone said, make clothes, aap boutique khol lo. All sorts of weird things.
और आपके घर में ऐसा तो नहीं कहा कि देखो भैया मोमो बेचने लगे?
So nahin. So there were people who said this, but if I have to say, to answer to your question, entrepreneurship gives you a perspective in life. So I'll give you our example. We directly employ over 1,300 people in the company. So we work very closely with 1,300 families, and this has not happened in a day. It has happened over a period of time. So 2 stores led to 4, 4 led to 5, 5 led to 10, 10 led to 20. We saved money from these stores to open new stores, and in doing that we created more and more employment. So abhi if I have to sleep and have to get up in the morning, there is a new kick that I get that if I have a good day spent and if I can expand my business and if I can open one store, I will add 10 more people. I will create employment for 10 new guys and 10 more families will be supported. So another aspect to this is, out of the 1300, we've had the honor and by God's grace the capability to employ 40 differently abled staff. Now these staff,
very nice.
So these are really gifted colleagues of ours who not just work day in and day out, but they are absolutely honest, they are very dedicated, and it is our perspective, we have a long-term vision that we will have at least one such special, we call them wow special colleagues, we'll have one such wow special colleague for every store that we open. So if we have to open some 500 stores in the next 2 to 3 years, we'll have 500 specially abled colleagues working with us. So every morning when you get up at 6 a.m, you get up at 6:30, you have that kick that you have to do something in life, and that's what the perception or the perspective that I'm talking about. It just absolutely takes you off.
Absolutely. I think we've got a wow audience here. Let's take some questions from the floor. Yes.
Thank you. I also want to thank the ministry for the support, and I want to appeal for increasing the number of participants from my country, Ghana, and elsewhere. Now we have been here, we have seen entrepreneurship in action, we have studied entrepreneurship. Assuming we have developed the interest and have identified some specific things from here and which we would like to go and start in our country, please, is there a way you can facilitate us from your end, since you have got the experience and you have already started, how you can push us to go and put into practice what you've come to learn?
Thank you. Harkesh ji?
Well, we have started work with some of the countries. Like in Africa, the first country we have started work with from the Ministry of Science and Technology is Rwanda. We have set up a center with Rwanda. It's called India-Rwanda Innovation Growth Program, where our team is currently there in Rwanda. We are targeting close to about minimum of 20, but we will be actually doing about 200 tech transfers, innovations, which could be on the demand of the local governments, what kind of areas they want to strengthen, etc. So we have started with one. In addition to this, the Ministry of External Affairs has supported setting up of entrepreneurship development institutes in collaboration with several institutes in India at their places, and that's being carried out as per the requirement of those nations.
Okay, great. Yes, we've got Rashmi as well. She is a startup entrepreneur. Why don't you share from where did you had the business idea of Women Voyage, and what is it all about?
Yeah, hi, I'm Rashmi. I have a startup named Woo Voyage. Actually, I've been a traveler, been traveling to all over India, abroad also, and keep meeting like women travelers. And when we talk about India, they, that start saying that it's amazing, that culture is amazing, food is amazing. When they talk about coming to India, they think about safety. So from there, I got the idea I should, take up this challenge to improve my country, image all over. I started this startup, Woo Voyage, and from there, that women who knows foreign languages, I'm empowering them also. So I have 42 girls working with us. So they can work full-time and part-time also. So yes, we are improving image of our country, promoting Incredible India, and we are empowering women also. And the other thing, we have women backpackers.
Okay.
So that Indian women, they're looking something in life, they want to travel. We are helping them create, that they can do anything. Even if we create workshops also, like in Rajasthan, they want to go and see Bagru, that our culture. So we create a group of women, they're married, they're single, divorced, whatever. Or senior women also, they are retired but they're living alone. We make them travel with different age groups. So that's what we are doing.
Okay, and men folk are also happy with this model? Okay. Yeah, anyone else from the audience?
We are coming up in Paharnan, that's going to be first female friendly company there. That's like talk about all foreigners come there.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else who would like to share an innovative model? Yes, what's the business idea?
Okay, we are the incubators, and at the university and college level, we are giving platform to the students from the college as well as from the alumni to create innovative startups and then to help them connect with the industry and the government to make impact to the economy and industry.
Okay, Mr. Jawahar, let me come back to you, because incubation is a very important step. Do you think that every school, every college should have an incubation cell, so that a student of 7th, 8th, 10th class, or somebody pursuing a bachelor's degree, if has an idea, we could give him a hand-holding experience?
Yes, considering the kind of population, considering the kind of challenges we are going to have, we used to say it is risky to be entrepreneurial in those days, but now it is too risky not to be entrepreneurial.
Really?
Because the kind of challenges we are going to face, the industries disappear overnight and new industries spring up.
Yes.
And therefore, it is better to be entrepreneurial.
So it's risky to be a job seeker in present world in
yes,
India?
yeah. In fact, it is. Yeah, it is.
Jyotsna ji, is that the breaking news?
Yes.
That's very nice. That's very nice.
Definitely.
But sir, tell me, since STEP TREC came in 1986, 3 decades.
Yeah.
That means incubation process in India has had, its beginnings in 80s. How has it evolved all these decades?
Your dot on incubation process started in 1985 with the Department of Science and Technology. They are the pioneers. They are the people who do research and innovation in this country. They promote research and innovation. They also did this research. So I should say India is one of the earliest beginners in incubation front, along with some developed nations as well. Even now, even though our budget outlays for incubation is much smaller, the kind of experiences we have is quite unparalleled. So I think we have a lot of knowledge, as always the Indians do, but in terms of making it practically this thing, we have miles to go. For example, China, which started little later, they have nearly 3,000 incubators now. We have only few incubators. We have only 200 incubators now. So I think, but as you rightly said, not only every institutions, even outside the institutions, we need to have more incubators, because that's the way the future innovation society is going to progress. If you want to promote innovation, if you want to make our people safe, you need to promote more incubators.
And the TREC STEP, based out of Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu, is primarily helping those incubators which have the idea in the tech manufacturing sector. But let me come to TIS, based out of Mumbai. You also have a social incubator.
Yes.
Help our viewers in the audience understand what kind of incubators could be there. Can we have a for-profit, not-for-profit, manufacturing one, services one? Which one India needs more?
I think we need all.
Okay.
Yeah, because everywhere the ecosystem is different, the different need is different. Like if you go to little close to the villages or smaller towns, you have natural resources probably. So you need somebody who can convert these natural resources into some productive output. You need manufacturing facility, you need collection, you need supply chain, you need market access. So we need probably all those things. And let me tell you, that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. We can create in one value chain, we can create multiple incubations or multiple entrepreneurs. So somebody can manufacture, somebody can pack it, somebody can distribute it, somebody can sell it. So in the process, at least 4 or 5 types of entrepreneurs can be created.
Right.
So incubator, what we have in Tata Institute of Social Sciences, we primarily incubate social impact ventures. They work across the country, in the difficult part of the country as well. So it all depends what is the focus of incubation. It could be a product-based, technology-based incubator. It could be a service-based incubator, like we work on social impact incubator. So it all depends what is the focus of incubator.
But do you think, Saket, so far over the last 2-3 years, it's been primarily tech-based startups that have taken most limelight, like yours?
If you rewind back 10 years,
yes.
Tell me how easy was it to call a cab?
Yeah,
and today how easy it is. Tell me how easy was it to buy something, and today has that been simplified? Tell me how difficult it was to go and vote, and today the digital things which are there. All of this has one common piece to it, technology. So I think we are beyond that debate where technology, what it has given to the human race in the last 20 years has not been witnessed in the last 2000 years in terms of advancement. And irrespective of whichever industry you come from, if you don't embrace yourself and enable yourself with technology, I mean, you're going to see yourself extinct, is something which we have seen.
Any innovation has to be a tech-driven innovation, almost given.
I'm not saying it has to be, but I think the situation where we are, the reach of tech which has happened with 2 billion people on the planet, on the internet, I think that's what it has boiled down to.
But Pradeep ji, let's focus on investors, very important part of the ecosystem.
Sure.
Who have a mindset to invest in something that they can touch and feel, physical, real estate. Will they invest in something like technology that you never know?
No, absolutely. I think most of the angel investment that is happening, or the VCs who are coming up, they are all investing in various businesses which are getting enabled by technology. So, you know, if you look at the young entrepreneurs who are all sitting here,
Yes.
Are they tech business or are they a food business?
Yes.
Is this a helicopter business?
Yes.
You know, from the audience, people talked about a business which is a travel business.
Yes.
So, you know, technology is the great enabler which is making all these changes happen.
Okay. Yes. Yes, Saket.
I just add a point to what Sir is saying into your question on how do you invest. It was I remember meeting Donald Trump 3 years back, and he had come to Bombay to inaugurate the Trump Tower. You know, that
Yes.
was the thing. CNBC had done a small event with a few CEOs. I asked him the same question that he was not running for the president then, and I asked him the question that Mr. Trump, you have invested into alcohol, food lines, infrastructure, everything, but why have you never invested in IT? His response at that time was that, you know, I like to invest in things which I can touch and feel. I don't believe in investing in IT. Now think of this as the President of the United States versus our Prime Minister, who's so pro technology for digital India. And that's, you know, the fundamental, I would say we are fortunate to have somebody like him who's leading our command. So,
Absolutely. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has seen a vision 2022 for India, which will be a new India where technology is an enabler and we can have innovations help the mankind, human race with so many advantages. But we always have fear of failure. Raise your hand. How many of you think, even if you were to take a step towards entrepreneurship, notwithstanding how good many things this panel says, you still have that fear of failure? You still have deep down inside fear of failure. Okay, so can we pass on the mic? Yes. What's the fear? What's the fear? Yes, please. Please pass on the mic. Yes. What's the fear that you have if you were to come into the entrepreneurship arena?
Okay, my fear is that what will happen if my idea doesn't mature into something useful?
Okay, now hear this story. Harkesh ji, the story of Angry Birds.
I had a chance to meet the promoter of Angry Birds. How many of you know Angry Birds? Almost everybody. Almost everybody. Good. So I had a chance to meet the promoter of Angry Birds, and he was telling us that Angry Birds was not his first game. It was his 52nd game. 52nd game. He had 51 games before this, and he told me this incident. He said every Christmas I used to go home for holidays, and I would give my iPad to my mother and tell her that I have developed this new game during this year. Would you like to have a look at this? So what she did was she would play the game, and after 2-3 days she would return the iPad and say that very well done, son, as any mother would do.
Yes.
But and this happened for 51 times, or if not 51 times, at least many times. When Angry Birds happened, what she did was she said that, okay, very well done, son, but this time did not return the iPad back.
Yeah.
So you will get a signal when important things, good things are going to happen to you. You don't need a formal market survey to do that.
And you're not scaring him that he has to wait till 51 times. Yes, Kanika, you wanted to add something?
You know, I'll add from my own story. When we started Jet Set Go, I started it with an investment of 5,600 rupees, which today is about $100, I guess. And for the first 1 year, 2 months or so, we didn't sell a single flight. And I tried everything in my might. I went to customers, I went to vendors, and I kept trying to convince them that I will get this right. But every single day it was the same answer, and every single day I would wake up in the morning and say, today is going to be my best day and we're going to sell a plane today. But we did, and today we control the largest market share in India.
No,
we control the largest
no,
fleet.
Tell me, someone like me from a middle class background,
Yeah.
I can take my smartphone and book a taxi to come to my office, Doordarshan.
And you can book a plane on Jet Set Go.
That's too big an aspiration.
No, so some of our planes are cheaper than commercial airlines.
Really? Are you saying it cost me lesser than the taxi?
Yeah, we flew someone from Bombay to Delhi yesterday at 4,200 rupees.
So you brought in process efficiencies to bring the cost down?
No, that's a trick. It's a secret sauce we have. But so you'll be surprised to hear that 30% of the planes flying across the globe are flying empty. So all of those empty planes on certain sectors, we sell them at a very marginal cost to ensure that everyone can afford to fly private.
Absolutely. Rahman? Yes.
Yeah, so one point I would want to add over here is Saket very rightly said that in everything you need technology. So we are from core brick and mortar, nothing to do with technology. However, technology helps us. So To give you an example, we are opening up stores. So we are recently launching Bhubaneswar and Bombay as new cities. Now technology is actually helping us to tell us where do we open our stores. So say in Bhubaneswar, sitting in Calcutta, we get this data that these are the 10 points where you can have your stores, and these are the 10 places where customers are actually going in, spending time, customers with purchasing power and customers who would spend on food. So that's how technology is changing our lives. Even businesses which are brick and mortar, technology is playing a very, very vital role.
And and a very important point Rahman was mentioning, that for the first 40 stores of Wow Momos, you actually didn't raise fund from outside, and your customers were your investors.
Exactly. So the first 40 stores were actually funded by the customers. So we call it customer investment in us.
So Saket, bootstrapping is the way to go for the first few years?
Absolutely.
It depends on the sector you're in, right? If you want to start a new aviation company, I mean, you can't do that unless you buy flights or you lease them, right?
Yes.
At the same time, I feel we are again fortunate to be in the technology era, where it literally takes $25 to create a developer's account on the Google Play Store or the Apple Play Store. And you can simply go there, make an app. You can learn how to do the app through YouTube free of cost in 5 days. You can build an app which you feel solves the problem.
So we can do it, all of us can do it?
In $25, that's it. So that's the point. You don't need a Tata or a Birla anymore in front, or a Mittal in front of your name anymore to become an entrepreneur. But $25, put an app on the store. And the good part is now there are very sector specific coverage methodologies also. So you've got a Your Story and an Inc 42 which just looks at startups and are hungry to cover the startups. So the moment you've got the entire ecosystem in place, get the app right, simply get a few installations, get the word out, and you're there.
Excellent. We've got a few more questions from the floor. Yes.
Hi, Mr. Saket. So I'm Ankita, and I represent a platform that goes back to the economy, that says platform for exchanging services and goods. So that's called B economy. As you said, we have technology today, so we can come forth to the drawbacks that we had that time in the economy. But the thing is that technology is really expensive. I just wanted to ask you, can we expect the technology to get cheaper in the coming years?
Okay,
there are great ideas, but there is technology that is needed, and it gets really expensive to execute it.
I mean, it's a great question, and I like the way Elon Musk puts this. You're carrying a smartphone right now, right? He says that the total power, the computing power that's there in the smartphone with you right now, in a 6,000 rupee smartphone, is actually more than the total computing power that was there in the first Apollo mission. Right? Now, why I give you this example is, at 6,000 rupees today, because of the scale at which technology is gone to and the advancement at the microprocessor chips which are there is so it's proportionally the cost is coming down and the processing power is going up. So as you move forward, I am pretty sure that is going to happen. And just to add to that as a real case, this is the meaning of cloud computing. So if you understand how cloud computing works, before, like 5 years back, if you want to set up a website, you have to hire a server. It doesn't matter what the traffic would be, you would pay a static fees for the server, and then you would expand the servers as the traffic would go up. Now you don't have to buy a server. You can go to an AWS or a Microsoft Azure, and if you have got only 10 users, you only pay for those 10 data packets which are touching your memory and then going back. So it's called pay per usage. And this is where technology is going. So I believe that's correct.
Okay, but Mr. Jawahar, tell us, in terms of the package of incubation services that a wannabe entrepreneur gets, do you also help him identify the right technology? Because right now, if you look at it, A stands for artificial intelligence, B for Bluetooth technology, C for chatbot. It goes over the head. Only Saket understands.
Actually, the entrepreneurs know little more than everybody else.
Yes.
That's why they are there.
Yes.
And it is very dangerous to sit next to an entrepreneur because what happens is that they are so obsessed with their particular technology.
Yes.
They think that's the end of the world.
Okay.
And they go on specializing in that space. So my technology friends tell me that whenever you take a long flight, never sit next to an entrepreneur. So he'll go on talking about his technology for 7-8 hours.
But do you help us choose, because we need technology?
The thing is, as you rightly ask, see, there is not one technology, but an entrepreneur might need a set of technologies in order to realize this project. He may be very good in chemical, but he might need a lot of other areas. He might need help from nanotechnology. He might need even help from biotechnology and IT and many other space. So that is why we tie up entrepreneurs to institutions where we have this knowledge base. And then when you tie up to incubators and institutions, whatever knowledge the entrepreneur creates, that also is shared with the experience of generating knowledge is being shared with the institution, and it gets sedimented there as an institutional knowledge, which will then be transformed to the next generation entrepreneur. So when you institutionalize these entrepreneurial experiences and develop a reservoir of venture knowledge, so this gets transmitted to this thing. I think in the case of Silicon Valley and in the case of other ecosystem, though I detest to call the word ecosystem, because ecosystem sort of nullifies everything. You put everything there. So the thing is,
what's the right word then?
I think maybe there are many words. We need many words to explain things. We need a word called culture. We need a word called backward and forward linkages, which I think in the Indian situation we are missing out. We don't have enough backward and forward linkages. You can't create an ecosystem by placing few lines here and there. You need to develop it from the bottom. So I think the incubators are doing it, and we need incubators in every region of the country. Then only we'll be able to create an ecosystem. I think in a country, some advanced countries, they have the national level culture is already built. It itself is an incubator.
Pradeep ji, you wanted to add?
Yeah, you know, if you look at the Mahabharata, and if you look at the classic example of Arjun and Krishna. Now, Krishna doesn't teach him technology. So that is not what is required. What is required is a different kind of a support that is needed by entrepreneurs.
You're saying Krishna was the mentor, we need mentors.
Absolutely. Incubators are mentors, and that is the sort of a role that we actually end up playing.
Yes, I know we have more to discuss. Let's take more questions. Yes, your question.
Well, my name is Nabaraj Adhikari. I belong to Nepal. I would like to know Indian experience regarding social entrepreneurship. How social entrepreneurship are beneficial to sustain self-help groups or non-government organizations. Thank you.
Social entrepreneurship is extremely important for India for several reasons. But when I say social entrepreneurship, it doesn't mean that it's only social impact. It's social, economic, and environmental impact also. So not that they are averse of technology, they use technology as enablers. So it's all inclusive. So why we need social entrepreneurs? Because there are several opportunities which exist in remote corners of the country where the so-called mainstream economic activity don't touch them. So probably we need a different mechanism to bring them to the market-based mechanisms. So social enterprises work very well on that. Number two is social entrepreneurs also are the one who try to see the issues more from the problem perspective and try to integrate a solution which is creative, which is business model built up, but also which is relevant to the market context. So they are not doing something which is age old and which is not relevant. They have to be equally relevant to the market context.
But Professor Majumdar, while social entrepreneur is a buzzword now even in India for the last 2-3 years, but profit is not a bad word.
Absolutely
I can create a social impact yet earn profit.
Absolutely. So it's not a question of whether you earn profit or not. The question is, and you should earn profit rather. I say profit is oxygen for the business. So can you cut oxygen? So the life will go away, right? So if you don't earn profit, that's a problem, right? So the question is, earning profit or not earning profit is not a matter of debate. The debate is your sustainability, the impact which you create, and again I'm saying you'll have to be relevant to the market context, because at the end of the day you are there in the market context.
Yes, let's take a few more questions. Yes.
साकेत साहब ने जो एग्जांपल दिया कि ट्रम्प का इंसिस्ट है कि वो डिजिटल पे ना जाए, सिंपल प्रोसेस हो, और मोदी साहब डिजिटल पर फोर्स कर रहे हैं. मेरे ख्याल में ये सोसाइटी का ज़रूरत है. मैं अगर अपनी स्टोरी आपको सुनाऊँ, अफगानिस्तान में मेरा एक भाई गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट है, कंप्यूटर में उसने गोल्ड. कभी कभी हम उससे मजाक करते हैं, अगर बिजली चली गई तू भी चला गया. और एक और सिंपल एग्जांपल, हमारे घर के पास एक कबाड़ का दुकान था जो पुराने आयरन ये लेता था. वहाँ पर ये बाल जो गिरे हुए होते हैं लेडीज़ का, एक लड़का उसको इकट्ठा कर रहा था. मैंने कहा इसको क्या कर रहे हो? उसने बोला कि मैं इसको जमा करके इसको भेजूँ. आजकल वो लड़का, 5 साल पहले मैंने ये सवाल किया है, आजकल वो लड़का बहुत ज़्यादा पैसे कमा चुका है, बहुत अमीर हो गया है. ये यहाँ पर कोई टेक्नोलॉजी इसने यूज़ नहीं किया. तो मेरा सवाल ये है कि ये लाजमी है कि हम टेक्नोलॉजी पर फोकस करें, हमें कुछ किसी और प्रोफेशन में
ओके जी कनिका
आपका सवाल एकदम ठीक है एंड आई थिंक हम लोग सब आपके साथ अग्री करेंगे इस बात पे कि एक अच्छा एंटरप्रेन्योर वही है जो अपने आसपास की प्रॉब्लम्स को समझे और उनके सोल्यूशन निकाले। इंडिया में भी अगर आप भोपाल जैसी जगह में जाएंगे या विदिशा जाएंगे, छोटी जगह में जाएंगे, वहाँ पे टेक्नोलॉजी से ज़्यादा बहुत सारी दूसरी चीज़ों की ज़रूरत है। आज हम लोग जो करते हैं उसमें प्लेन सिर्फ ऐप पे बुक होता है, बट हम प्लेन की सेफ्टी देखते हैं, प्लेन के पायलट्स को मैनेज करते हैं, क्योंकि वो इंडिया में नहीं हो रहा था ठीक से। सो जो आप कह रहे हैं एक मिथ बन गया है अपने देश में कि हर चीज़ टेक्नोलॉजी से ही रिलेटेड होनी चाहिए।
Yes.
But वो एकदम
absolutely that's correct. Yeah, we had Puneet in the audience. Where is Puneet? Yeah, if you can please pass on the mic. Please tell us more about hackathon, because we're talking about problem statements and how do you help ends meet and provide solutions. Yes.
Hackathon is
introduce
yes.
करो खुद को.
My name is Puneet. I am co-founder of Incubate End, and Incubate End is working to develop and enhancing skills in young tech lovers. So they are working on live projects that can be given by the MNCs and the governments. Like recently, Modi ji have done a Smart City India hackathon. So many problems are curated from that hackathon. So we are already done 10 plus hackathons in India, and we are already are going to do more hackathons in couple of months.
Okay, great. So I think we left with only 2 minutes on the program. And maybe the final words, time has flown in this flight where everyone is really adding value. Mr. Jawahar, final 10 seconds. Next 1 year, 2 year, what do you think? Where is the entrepreneurship landscape heading?
I think we have a great challenge ahead, and we have great opportunities also. I think incubation or the greatest innovation of the 21st century industrialization. It's not what I think, it was what the Chinese former premier Jiang Zemin said. It's the greatest innovation of the 21st century industrialization.
Very nice. Saket?
Oh, mine is simple. Just I think very exciting times lie ahead. That's all I have to say.
And you'll invite viewers to become entrepreneurs?
Oh, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Yes.
Simply, you just go there, just take that risk, and you keep fighting. There will be a lot of things that will be thrown on your face. Every day you will face different questions. No single day will be a walk away. But keep fighting, because till the time you can't see light at the end of the tunnel, the journey is not yet over.
Kanika?
My simple message would be, there's no better time to be an Indian than now. So please go ahead, please take risks, make India very, very proud. And also please ensure you nominate yourself for the awards. They've done a lot for us, and I hope they do a lot for all of y'all.
Jyotsna ji, how many? 23 awards?
Yes, 23 awards. Yeah.
Okay.
So my message would be, I think it's very important now to catalyze a cultural shift, and you need to see entrepreneurship as a preferred career option. That is very important.
Okay. Professor Shah?
Yeah, again the same thing, being the lead partner institute for the National Entrepreneurship Award of 2017, I appeal the entire countrymen to apply for the award, and it's going to be a very exciting journey for all of us. Number two, there cannot be a better time for India than now. This is the best time for being an entrepreneur. So if somebody asks me, where should I become an entrepreneur? Even the villages, we should have entrepreneurs. We should have incubators in the villages and towns. So sometime when I teach, my students ask me, so when should I become an entrepreneur? Should I take up a job and become an entrepreneur? I said yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. Harkesh,
well, I have been in this area for the last 30 years. There have been never better times to become an entrepreneur. And I think make use of the environment, make use of the policies, make use of the new culture which is emerging in the country, and be an entrepreneur.
Final words, Pradeep ji.
So Amit, I read a recent report that there are 23,000 startups in India.
Okay.
I think what we need to do is we need to take this number to 250,000. We need to really democratize entrepreneurship, and the times cannot be better than what they are.
So that number will happen, say, in a year, 2 year time frame, perhaps?
Absolutely. Next 5 years, we should be looking at going to, various states. We should be looking at, having a very sort of a federal structure of entrepreneurship being set up in the country.
So we all have to increase our risk appetite. मुश्किलें आए तो क्या करें प्रदीप जी? अगर मुश्किलें आ जाएगा
and मुश्किलें तो आती हैं entrepreneurship में. Entrepreneurship बिना मुश्किल के तो exist ही नहीं करता.
बिल्कुल. And I think
और इसीलिए
just to add to what Pradeep sir said, so sitting over here in this panel, so Saket goes out and becomes the next Apple. We, by God's grace, can become the next McDonald's. Absolutely. And Kanika can become the next Uber from India. Absolutely. Nothing like it.
I think that's a brilliant thought. If you can have a vision, certainly you can bring it to reality. So I thank all the audience, all the panelists for a very special, interesting, intriguing discussion. And I think we're going to end, Jyotsna ji, this program with this very energetic song, which is a theme song of entrepreneurship that's been created by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, which says, मुश्किलों पर हौसला भारी है, हम तैयार हैं, जीत की तैयारी है. Thank you. Thanks.
वो जो सोने ना दे, जुनू जो हौसला खोने ना दे. कौन है जो रोके हमें, ये मुकाबला खुद से है. चल पड़े हैं हम, ये जीत की तैयारी है. चल पड़े हैं हम, ये जीत की तैयारी है. वक्त आएगा, ये सोचना है क्या. यही वक्त है, यही वो लम्हा. जो चाहे वो कर सकते हैं, हमें किसने हमें रोका. हमें किसी की गरज ना, हम खुद को देंगे मौका. 100 मुश्किलों पर हौसला भारी है. चल पड़े हैं हम, ये जीत की तैयारी है. चल पड़े हैं हम, ये जीत की तैयारी.